Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Welcome to Footwork.
Was lucky enough to have a trial with them, and I performed well enough to earn a contract with Rostock. So that was again, like I said before, there's a lot of highs and lows in football and in the life of football, and you learn from the lows and you enjoy the highs.
I like the running joke because I guess with you guys it extends even till now, because I mean you don't sign with a third Bundesliga team, you sign with a second Bundesliga team, and it's amazing.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a video of you on social media. I think maybe it's on your Instagram. It seems maybe you can talk about this moment a little bit, but it seems like you maybe just got a call from whether it's the team or the agent, and you just seem in this pure elation, kind of encapsulates all those pressures that you were talking about before, and then the uncertainty of not having, a team, especially with a family, and all this time, all these moments leading up. What did that moment mean to you, and can you just touch on it a little bit for us?
Oh man, that was for sure. Oh, that was like one of the highlights of my life, I swear. It was a phone call from my agent, and it was I had the week trial because they were in training camp, and I went to them for training camp. And originally I had spoken with the coach, and it was I was going to be just to kind of train and stay fit. But then I performed so well that they ended up saying, okay, we're really happy with you. We'll stay in contact for the next week and see what comes. And then, I wasn't getting any phone calls, nothing was that. And so I was like, okay, maybe it's not going to work. And so I ended up not going on trial, but I was going in training with other teams, just to stay fit and kind of see what was coming. And I was still waiting for something to come in the third league. I was going to wait basically until the end of the transfer period, as long as I possibly could. And then that phone call was from my agent, and it was the club saying that they were going to sign me. And I was just like, I can feel the emotions that I went through, and it was just like, I was actually sitting on my patio outside, and my wife and I were sitting on the couch. My daughter was just kind of like running around or something like this, and I remember getting a call, and I looked at Kate, my wife, and I was like, it's Philip, it's my agent. And so I went inside, and she started recording. I had no idea she was recording, and she started recording. And so I got the phone call, and my agent just goes, pack your bags, you're going to Rostock. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. And I just like, I feel like I was floating, you know what I mean? It was just like one of the craziest feelings in the world. So I was just like, holy crap, like Rostock just got promoted. They're in the second Bundesliga. It was just like everything, all the info of where I was about to be just kind of flowed right in. And I was just like, I was just overwhelmed with emotion and stuff like that. And it's crazy that my wife recorded it. I'm so happy she did, because I'll be able to at the end of when I'm all done with this, I'll be able to look back at some of the most beautiful moments that I've been lucky enough to experience and stuff like that. And that's definitely going to be up there as one of the highest,
I would say.
Yeah. And for all you aspiring footballers out there, I want to reiterate that Ryan went on a training camp just to train and stay fit, but he performed well. And you never know when a team is going to see you do something in training where it wasn't a trial. He was just there to stay fit, and maybe they need training players. You never know. But every opportunity you step on the field, every time you're on the field, it can be a moment where, here we go. He just got relegated from the third league, and now a second Bundesliga signs him. That's incredible, Ryan.
To speak on some more moments that come from your time at Hansa. One of the ones that I really like, because I think it is such a huge pressure point, is you taking a penalty against Regensburg in the DFB Pokal. And the scenes are pretty crazy because there seems like such low visibility. So please just tell us all about that moment. Lead us up to it.
Yeah, so that was that ended up being my first start for the club, and so that was a big moment for me. And I wanted to, that was my time to kind of, show what I can do and show that I can play in at this level, and that I can play in this league and stuff like that. And so the build up to the end of the game with the penalties, the fog rolled in like wicked late. It was in overtime, and I swear to God, when the ball was on the other side of the field, I could not see a thing. The ball, I'd be looking, I'm looking. I'm like, where the heck? Like, I know the direction of where it was, but it was so bad. And I thought it was actually from the pyros, from like the fire and everything like that. Because there was also, the fans had put, fire out. And I was like, I couldn't figure out whether it was fog or whether it was from that. And so that was surreal to be able to like experience like having a game with that much fog. But the penalty, oh man, I'm always someone who wants to take penalties. I've always been like that. I always like to feel that kind of that pressure that is on you. But there's also another little running joke that I say with my wife is that pressure is just a word, and I always say to her, like, can you see pressure? No, it's something that's in your mind. There's no such thing as pressure. It's situations that when you understand that there's a big moment, you feel pressure. But if you're someone who can like, put yourself in the right mindset, there's no such thing as pressure, And so I've always been someone who wants to take penalties. And second that the whistle blew and we were going into penalties, I went right to my coach and I said, I'm taking one, and I want to go second. And he was like, okay. He just wrote my name. He said, okay, and wrote my name down. And so, taking that penalty was that was awesome, to be able to help advance us to playing against Leipzig yesterday. So.
Hansa mit Malone hat wenig gespielt bislang in der Zweitligasaison. Wer hätte das gedacht nach der Führung, nach der 2:0-Führung. Diese Dramatik, auch der ist drin. Meyer ahnt die Ecke.
We have to touch on it. We love full circle moments. And one that stands out to us is you played Regionalliga in Leipzig. Probably were a huge Red Bull Leipzig fan at the time.
Yeah.
And then about 5 years later, yesterday, you're playing in that stadium against them. Now, what do you think Ryan Malone from 2017 would say if you told him this was going to happen?
I would have said, yeah, right. Okay. No, to be honest, if I was able to like say something to myself and say, listen, in a couple of years you're gonna be playing in the stadium, I'd be like, that's pretty cool, but like, how do I get there? What are the steps that got me there? That's I talk a lot about on steps and not focusing on the end goal and stuff like that. And so like my first question would have been like, all right, but what was my next step? I know where I'm at now, but where am I going next to like have it? So I'm going to be in that stadium playing against that team. But yeah, yesterday was wild. That was a very cool experience to be able to play against a team like that. They're Champions League quality team. They're unbelievable, unbelievably strong. So got to play against another American, Tyler Adams. So that was cool. I got to be able to trade jerseys with him at the end of the game and kind of got to chat a little bit and kind of just have a quick little conversation. So that was pretty cool. That was unique.